What you're about to learn about how emergency funds work in 2026 will change everything. The financial landscape has shifted dramatically, and traditional emergency fund advice no longer applies. In 2026, emergency funds serve as your financial fortress against unexpected expenses. They protect you from debt when life throws curveballs. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation defines an emergency fund as money set aside specifically for unplanned expenses. These funds should be easily accessible when you need them most. The basic principle remains unchanged. You save money in advance to cover unexpected costs, but how much you need and where to keep it has evolved significantly. Most financial experts recommend 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This covers your essential monthly costs like housing, food, utilities, and minimum debt payments. Calculate your monthly expenses first. Multiply that number by 3 for a starter fund. Then work towards 6 months for better protection. Some situations require larger emergency funds. Self-employed individuals face irregular income streams. They should target 6 to 12 months of expenses. Single-income households also need larger buffers. Job market volatility in 2026 makes this especially important. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau emphasizes accessibility over returns for emergency funds. Your emergency money needs to be available within days, not weeks. This rules out investments with withdrawal penalties or waiting periods. Traditional savings accounts remain the most common choice. They offer immediate access through ATMs and online transfers. High-yield savings accounts provide better interest rates while maintaining liquidity. Money market accounts offer another solid option. They typically provide higher interest rates than regular savings. Many include check-writing privileges for easy access. Certificates of deposit work for portion of larger emergency funds. Choose short-term CDs with 3 to 6 month terms. This provides slightly higher returns while maintaining reasonable access. Avoid common emergency fund mistakes that derail your progress. Don't use your emergency fund for planned expenses like vacations. These aren't emergencies. They're predictable costs you should budget for separately. Don't invest emergency funds in stocks or volatile assets. Market downturns could reduce your fund when you need it most. Don't keep emergency funds in accounts with withdrawal limits or penalties. Your emergency fund should never be locked away from immediate access. Building your emergency fund requires a systematic approach. Start with small, consistent contributions rather than waiting for large windfalls. Automate transfers from checking to your emergency fund account. Even $25 per week builds over $1,200 annually. Direct part of tax refunds or bonuses to your emergency fund. These windfalls can accelerate your progress significantly. Cut unnecessary expenses temporarily to boost contributions. Cancel unused subscriptions and redirect that money to your fund. Use the envelope method for discretionary spending. Put cash limits on entertainment and dining out. Save the difference in your emergency fund. Track your progress regularly to stay motivated. Celebrate milestones like reaching 1 month of expenses saved. Visual progress tracking helps maintain momentum over months and years. Determine what qualifies as a true emergency before you need the money. Medical expenses not covered by insurance qualify as emergencies. Sudden job loss definitely requires emergency fund access. Major home repairs like broken heating systems are legitimate emergencies. Car repairs needed for work transportation count as emergencies. Family emergencies requiring travel often justify fund usage. What doesn't qualify as an emergency might surprise you. Annual expenses you can predict don't count as emergencies. Holiday gifts, back-to-school shopping, and vacation costs should be budgeted separately. Wants versus needs become crucial when evaluating emergency fund usage. A broken phone might be an emergency for work purposes, but upgrading to the latest model isn't an emergency expense. Use the 24-hour rule for non-obvious situations. Wait a day before accessing emergency funds for questionable expenses. This cooling off period helps prevent impulsive decisions you'll regret later. Replenishing your emergency fund after usage should be your top priority. Treat replenishment like paying off high-interest debt. Stop non-essential spending until your fund reaches previous levels. Don't let your emergency fund stay depleted for extended periods. Life rarely gives you breaks between unexpected expenses. A depleted fund leaves you vulnerable to debt accumulation. Technology in 2026 makes emergency fund management easier than ever. Mobile banking apps provide instant access to your funds. Many apps offer automatic savings features that round up purchases. The spare change gets transferred directly to your emergency account. Some banks offer goal-setting tools specifically for emergency funds. These features track progress and send motivational reminders. Online-only banks often provide the highest interest rates for emergency funds. Their lower overhead costs translate to better returns for savers. Consider splitting emergency funds between multiple institutions. This provides backup access if one bank experiences technical issues. Keep some cash at home for emergencies affecting electronic banking systems. Natural disasters or power outages can disrupt normal banking operations. Store cash in a fireproof safe or safety deposit box. Small bills work better than large denominations for emergency situations. Your emergency fund strategy should evolve with major life changes. Getting married might reduce individual fund needs if both partners work. Having children typically increases recommended emergency fund amounts. Buying a home adds potential emergency expenses like major appliances. Starting a business requires larger emergency reserves for irregular income. Review and adjust your emergency fund annually. Cost of living increases affect your target amount over time. Job changes might alter your risk profile and fund requirements. The peace of mind from a proper emergency fund cannot be overstated. You'll sleep better knowing unexpected expenses won't derail your finances. Emergency funds prevent small problems from becoming major financial crises. They provide options during difficult times instead of forcing desperate decisions. Start building your emergency fund today, even with small amounts. Consistency matters more than the size of initial contributions. Your future self will thank you when life's inevitable surprises arrive. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Learn more through the budgeting tool linked in the description if you want a simple place to start.